Thank you for choosing to watch our videos, including this one. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see the subscriber count go up, the watch hours go up, and the views all go up. So I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Today, we are going to install the second item that we received from Tlyard, and that is this right here. Touchscreen swiveling mount. So this one is a little bit different than others that you get on the market in that you can see there the range of motion is a little bit greater side to side. 40 degrees side to side, 20 up and down. So this is what we're going to unbox. We're going to take a look and see what's inside, what it all comes with, install it, and we're going to give you an honest review of whether this is worth purchasing and putting in your car or not. The touchscreen swiveling mount from Tlyard. Let's go. Tlyard's touchscreen swiveling mount. Let's unbox this and see what's inside. So you get installation instructions. You get a card that says do not remove these 3 screws. A toolkit, looks pretty cool. You get the bracket itself. A trim piece. This is the mounting piece that attaches to the screen, and this is a little spacer that helps friction fit the trim in place. You also get 2 temperature sensor covers depending on which version is in your vehicle. And finally, a couple of additional mounting screws. So what's in the toolkit? Well, you get a wrench. Torx on one side, and it looks like a hex on the other. You get a pry tool, Phillips screwdriver, wrench, 10mm on one, 8 on the other, little mounting screws, and a smaller little Torx wrench. Okay, so here we are in the car. We've got everything laid out on the passenger seat, ready to be installed. We are going to first switch off the car. So into the menu system, safety, scroll all the way down to the bottom and hit power off, confirm that. There you go. Now we're safe to remove the screen and switch out the hardware, mounting hardware. Microfiber cloth, always protect your screen. We're gonna remove the screen and put it face down on here so we can access the connections behind it. So how to do that? Pry tool. The one thing you want to get in here underneath, there's a little tab, and you stick your pry tool in and this will pop off. Now you need to disconnect the temperature sensor cable. And that's this one right here. So the easiest way to do this is by taking the pry tool, push the little tab on the side of the connector, pull out, and comes right off. The cover itself we won't need anymore. Save that in case you want to switch this back out, but this is the portion that we will be removing. Next up is removing these 2 bolts underneath your screen, and that's where the supplied wrench comes in handy. However, I found it a lot easier to do this with a socket wrench. So number 10 socket wrench, and you just got to get up in there. Make sure you save these because you will need them later. After that is where we make sure the area is clear and you remove the screen. So grabbing it, you can see it's wiggling already, so just give it a little bit of a wiggle. 1 and 2 sides there. Took a little more effort than I thought it would, but there it is. And lay this down on your microfiber towel. Next up, we are going to remove this housing here, and there are 2 Torx screws. That's where this Torx wrench comes in handy. I think these are T25s. And they just fit right in there, and they're not attached very hard. So you can see 1, into the cup holder it goes. And 2, into the cup holder that goes. And voila, you're done. Next, this little connector here. There's a white connector that you just peel off. This protects the actual connection for the thing. So this comes off into the cup holder. And then this little pink connector that connects the screen. This we have to remove, and there is a tab on this side here that you push in and you pull this, give it a wiggle, whoop, and there you go. Once you have the cable removed, this you can remove entirely. We will not be using this anymore. We will be replacing it with this one. Time to install the articulating bracket. There's only one way this goes. Slide that right in there, and then you grab your 2 OEM bolts that you took out before and attach. Next comes this little plastic spacer that attaches to the top up here, and what this does is it provides a little bit of friction so that the trim fits snugly between the mount and the dashboard. And next is the trim piece. So here's our trim piece. Weave our cable through, weave this onto the actual bracket itself, try and keep that spacer in place, adjust, and this snaps right on there. And there you go. And now we have to prep the back of the screen itself, and that involves taking this mounting bracket that came with the kit and placing it over here. Before we do that, feed this cable through and reattach it. Push this in gently but securely until you hear a click. That's secured, good. White clip goes back in. Once you've reconnected everything and this clip is back in place, it's just a matter of attaching the new mount to the back of the screen, and you're going to use the 2 screws that you originally took off of the screen before. One thing I found, though, is if you try to do this with the mount on, these screws don't align properly with the screw holes. So take that off, drop the screws in both sides, place the mount on top, and then use your Torx wrench that came with the kit and attach that bracket to the back of the screen. It is ABS plastic, so don't tighten it too much or you might crack it. Once all that's done, we just have to mount the screen to the unit itself. And how that works is it just slides right on there, and it's not going to go anywhere at this point. It's not going to fall off. We now have to secure this with 2 bolts that go in from underneath. And the 2 bolts we use are the 2 bolts that are supplied with the unit. Grab your hex wrench that came with the unit and make sure these bolts are secured tightly. You do not want this moving as you're driving down the road. Okay, almost done. The last thing we have to do is reattach the temperature sensor. We're going to use this cover here. This one comes with the kit, and this is the one that fits my Model Y. That particular unit is what we're after, the temperature sensor. So we're going to remove this from this original bracket using the Torx screwdriver that came with the unit. Unscrew that, and you will not be reusing these 2 screws. You'll be using the 2 screws that came with the kit. This is the temperature sensor we need. The temperature sensor just fits into this brand new housing that's been supplied. There's only one way it can go. There you go. It looks just like that. And what we do now is we take these 2 screws that came with our kit, and we take the Phillips head screwdriver that came with the kit, attach the temperature sensor to that cover, and we're ready to move on to the next and final step. There. This goes underneath here. First thing, we reconnect the temperature sensor. This cable just slides in there. There's only one way it can go. Push in until you hear a click. There you go. And once you have the temperature sensor reconnected, this unit just clips into place. There's a little gap at the bottom of the trim piece, and it just slides into place like that. There you go. All done. So there you have it. The installation of Tlyard's swivel screen mount. As you can see, when you do swivel that screen, it does reduce the glare, making it a lot easier to see, especially when you're backing up and using your rear camera. Range of motion is really good. There are 2 things I need to mention about this though. Number 1 is clearance. So I have the older center console, and when I raise the lid to access the phone charging pad, you can see that it does strike the bottom of the screen mount when you swivel it. The other thing, this mount lowers the screen a little, so if you've got somebody in the passenger seat with long legs, like my wife, there's a good chance they might bang their knee on the corner of the screen, kind of like that. Tlyard's touchscreen swiveling mount. How do we rate this one? Well, price-wise, we're at $145 and that includes shipping. www.tlyard.com. But wait, we have a discount code. If you use TC Tesla at checkout on their website, you get 18% off. That's a pretty good deal. Ease of installation. This was pretty easy to install. It'll take you about 30 minutes. It took me a little longer because, well, of course, I'm videotaping all of the steps and such. So about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. So ease of installation, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. Fit, it fits pretty well. It looks OEM. It doesn't look out of place at all. So for fit, I'm going to give this 5 stars. Functionality, well, it does what it's supposed to do. It swivels up, down, side to side. Really helps cut down the glare, especially when you're trying to back into a parking spot or back into your driveway and the sun is reflecting or shining off of the screen. So functionality, 5 out of 5 stars as well. Value, it's a well-constructed mount, not flimsy at all. And as I mentioned, this is $145 US on the Tlyard.com website. And if you use the discount code, that's another $26 off. Brings the price down to $119 US, including shipping. So for value, I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 as well. Overall, well, I've been using this for about a week and a half now, and I've found it quite useful, especially when backing up and there is a glare or reflection off of the screen. A slight adjustment, and I can see clearly. It's well constructed, very sturdy, doesn't move unless you want it to move. It offers you a wide range of motion, so 40% side to side, which is a lot more than what other mounts offer. I believe most of them are in the 30-degree range. This is 40 degrees, 20 up and down. Easy to install. Like I said, it's about 30-45 minutes. Doesn't take a lot of effort to install. And the price-wise, for $145 US, that's a pretty good deal in itself. But with the discount code, I mean, for $119, a screen swiveling mount of this quality, highly recommend. So 5 out of 5 overall. The Tlyard touchscreen swiveling mount, www.tlyard.com. Link is also below in the description, as well as the discount code, TC Tesla. Use that and you get 18% off of everything in your cart. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching us all the way to the end. Hope you enjoyed the Tlyard touchscreen swiveling mount installation video. If you did, please leave us a comment, a like. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, drive safely.